Hey, I'm Jason with Gear Talk, and today we're cutting stuff. Hopefully not a finger. Today I just wanted to show everyone my latest gear acquisition, which is a Spyderco Salt 1 knife. And I wanted to compare it to my current everyday carry, which is a Spyderco Delica 4, and just point out a few of the things I like and some of the things I don't like. So first of all, you'll notice there's the familiar Spyderco snap. It's got a hole in it, just like most Spyderco knives, so it's easy to open with one hand. And on this particular one, they made the hole a little bit bigger than normal. Here's a Delica 4 hole, and I don't know if you can see or not, but that hole in the Salt one is a little bit bigger. And the reason I like that is because it's easier to open with gloves on, and it's just in general easier to open because it's a little bit bigger. So I really like that feature of this knife. You'll also notice that I got the full serrated Spyderco edge, and the reason for that is because I have my Delica 4, this is my everyday carry with a plain edge, and then I've also got a Delica 4 with the half spider edge. So I just thought I would mix it up a little bit and maybe this time get one with the full edge. Also, these serrations really cut through things very easily. This is a very sharp knife. But the main reason I got it is because it's 100% rust proof. So even in salt water, this will not rust. Now I occasionally go fishing in salt water, and so I thought this would be a good knife to have for that. But also for backpacking purposes, I thought this edge would be great for cutting things like bark, or to make tinder, or cutting through paracord. And but also it's still delicate enough to cut food and finer things. So I'll show you that in a minute. But anyway, overall, I'm really happy with the quality of the steel they used for this and some of the features. So let's compare it to the Delica 4 a little bit more. Okay, so one thing is that the Salt is a little bit shorter than the Delica 4. It's got a little bit longer blade. This is, I think, 2 7/8 inches, and I think this is exactly 3. So it's slightly bigger blade, not too much of a difference there. The handle, the Delica 4 has a volcano grip. You can see the pattern there, whereas this has more of a waffle pattern. I actually kind of like this one better, although both do tend to trap dirt, but they're easy enough to clean. The lanyard hole on the Salt one is much bigger than on the Delica 4. So you could pass slightly larger paracord or whatever you want for a lanyard through here if you wanted. The clip is a little bit different too. This is I believe, aluminum or maybe steel clip, but the one on the Salt one is actually titanium. Again, that's probably just to keep it from rusting. Inside, you'll notice there are no rails on the inside here, no side plates like there are in the Delica 4, and I think that actually helps lighten it up a bit. The Delica 4 is 2.5 ounces, and the Salt one is exactly 2, so you save about a ½ ounce there too, so of course I like that. Now one feature I will point out that I'm not too sure if I'm happy with or not is that the blade is actually riveted. You can't adjust that, whereas you can with a Torx wrench on the Delica model. So if the blade ever loosens up, you pretty much have to send it back to Spyderco to get it repaired. I actually did. The first one I had a little wobble in the blade. Luckily, I live very close to the Spyderco outlet store, so I was able to take it there and get a replacement. But that is a point of concern, and I'll definitely be keeping track of that in the future to see if the blade loosens up at all. Seems pretty solid, but you never know. And I guess the last thing I'll point out here is that on the Delica 4 and the Endura models, you can change the clip and you can put it in 4 different positions. So you can have it so it rides tip up, tip down, left or right hand side. So you can actually take out this clip and put it in 4 different positions. Here, basically 2 positions. Tip up, left, tip up, right, and that's it. Which is fine for me because I only carry it tip up in my right pocket. So actually for me that's not a big deal. But if anyone wanted to switch it around, you really wouldn't be able to with this. So, all right, now let's see how it cuts. Okay, with any knife, you always want to do a good paper test and just see how sharp it is out of the box. So, wow, that's one sharp knife. A lot of people when backpacking use their knives for food preparation, and the last thing you want is a really dull blade where you're just kind of smashing your food instead of actually slicing it. So this just saws right through this tomato. No problem, it's not crushing it at all. It's very, very sharp. Blade's a little short for this big tomato though. All right, let's cut through some things that you're likely to want to be able to cut through out in the field. So paracord, that's a big one. A lot of times you have to cut that, so see how that slices through there. Oh, very easy, very easy. Here's some webbing. You might have to cut through some webbing at one point, maybe to repair a pack or something. And this is not regular webbing. This is the really heavy-duty, double layer, really, really thick stuff. This is probably heavier than any of us really actually have in our backpacks. But I just wanted to give it a good test with this knife, so. A little bit tougher, but again, that's really heavy stuff. So regular webbing, I think this would slice through it no problem. Okay, so the things I like about the Salt 1 over the Delica 4 are the larger thumb hole and the lighter weight. This is a 1/2 ounce lighter, and the total rust-proofness. However, nothing's perfect, and one thing I'd like to point out that I wish Spyderco would do is add jimping to the handle. If you notice here, there's little ridges here along the handle and on the back spine of the blade, and that's just for more stability when you grip it. So there's jimping on the Delica 4 on the handle, but on the Salt 1, the jimping is only on the back of the blade, it's not on the back of the handle. So this is a little bit, I mean, it's not really slippery. This actually, the jimping on here holds your thumb down pretty well, but you know, when this is wet, if you're going to be using it when you're fishing or something like that, it'd be nice just to have a little bit of jimping here for more secure grip. But overall, I'm really happy with my purchase, and I definitely recommend this knife. I'm Jason with Gear Talk. Go out and cut something today.